Hello and welcome again to the first sound show for 1984 with a new set. Mark and Bill was the guy that touched it up with the brush paint, wasn't he? Want to thank those two guys. Lovely job. Let's get on with the show. In the next 2 hours, we'll feature interviews with Robert Plant. We had part one in the first hour. Continue with that. The Eurogliders, Models, and the Eurythmics will be in. New clips that we will see and have just been released this week include videos from the SOS Band, Hall & Oates, Earth, Wind and Fire, Split Enz, Lionel Richie, Paul McCartney, that's a little later, Kimmy Wilde, The Style Council, a lot more. But first up, let's have a look at 4 of the fastest moving summer hits on the charts at the moment on this Australia Day weekend. It's now time. Nice to be back. The first show you hear that music, isn't it? Brings back fond memories. Going into our 10th year this year. Now let's have a look at some of the 4 brand new singles that we have this week. Queen have released a new titled Radio Gaga. The song is classic Queen with a little difference in as far as Queen are now employing a bit of synthesizer sound in there on Radio Gaga. I think the title says it all for Queen. I really think radio will go gaga over this one. Surefire hit. Oh, this week also sees the release of a debut record from a new Australian recording group called the Lucas Sisters. Now, these 4 girls, who hail from the Sydney suburb of Sylvania, out south, have released a song called BYOB, which is an abbreviation of Bring Your Own Baby. On their debut, the Lucas Sisters have settled for a strong dance sound and a fairly youthful image, as depicted on the single sleeve. Interesting to note, too, that the girls are styled, and the look was styled by Sound's very own fashion ferret, Anne McCarthy, who'll be back, I think, next week. With some airplay, the Lucas Sisters could do well on the debut BYOB, Bring Your Own Baby. The American quartet Van Halen have released a new album titled 1984, and this new single, Jump. This disc is a mite more commercial and radio-orientated than their previous stuff, and as guitarist Eddie Van Halen did with Beat It, once again he does a fine guitar solo in the group's own single. Don't be too surprised if you look at a top 40 chart soon and see Jump doing it for Van Halen. Now, let's have a look at a single for somebody who hasn't done it, poor devil, for quite some time. Former Free and Bad Company singer, the guitarist Paul Rodgers. He's released a new single called Cut Loose. Now, the song is also the title track from his forthcoming and first solo album. This is just what you'd expect from Paul. Good old straight rock and roll. Paul has also launched himself into the video market with a clip for his new single. So let's wrap up this week's single releases with a look at Paul Rodgers' Cutting Loose.